And I've had a lot of successes. I mean, like I say, I've had financial rewards, I've had great vacations, but there's one success for me that stands above them all. And it was one that I was able to share with my wife. And I wish she was here, because she always gets all teary-eyed and stuff when I tell this part of my message. But I remember when we were dating, she was going to Grand Valley State University. And at that time, she was studying Japanese. And her dream was to always one day travel the world and go to Japan. And she's always been fascinated with the culture and the people and how they do things and all this stuff. And for me, I mean, this is Japan. I mean, I'm from New York City. I would never go a place like that. I've never even been to Chicago, for that matter. So I can't even think down that level yet. But I never forgot that that's where she wanted to go. And eventually we dated a few years, and then we ended up getting married. And I remember that she told me she wanted to go there, but at that time she couldn't afford it because of student loans and classes and work and so on. So I said, okay, I told myself, one day I want to make that dream happen for her. And I remember going out to dinner with her one night, and we were sitting there, we were talking. Are you married? Okay, pay attention. We were sitting there talking, and I gave her a few sweet words and said some nice things and told her I love her, and I said, well, check this out. And I slid a piece of paper across the table to her. She said, well, what is it? I said, just open it. And when she opened it, it was an itinerary to Tokyo, Japan. 5-star hotel for 7 days, 6 nights, right in the heart of the city of Tokyo. And the first thing she did, she screams out, oh my God, I'm going to Tokyo! In the middle of this restaurant, everybody's looking, I'm like, calm down. And so we went to Tokyo a few months later for our wedding anniversary. And we spent 7 great days and 6 wonderful nights there. And during this time, we did anything that she wanted to do. That was the hard part. So we did anything that she wanted to do. We went anywhere she wanted to go. We tried exotic foods from grilled eel to octopus. That's what I said. Octopus spaghetti and dried squid. I mean, you name it. I mean, there's all types of exotic meals. And she's the adventurous type, so I just kind of sat back and watched, and then we would leave and go to McDonald's. That was a part of my plan while I was there. That was like 3 days while I was there. So, but this is what she enjoyed, and of course she shopped until she couldn't shop anymore. And yes, this vacation cost me thousands of dollars to do it, but for me it was a victory because one, I was able to make my wife's dream come true. That was the biggest thing. The second thing was to keep in mind where I come from and what statistics say about African American men. I am not supposed to be able to do this. I'm not supposed to be able to travel the world and do all these amazing things. So for her, this was a vacation. For me, again, it was literally a life-changing experience. To be able to say that I've been to Tokyo, Japan, I've been to Dominican Republic, I've traveled the country, I've been to all these wonderful places. But to be able to make that dream come true for her is hands down my number one victory. It was a deposit into my marriage is how I look at it. And so for me, that's my victory. So you have to think about, what is your victory going to be like? Who's going to be there to help you celebrate that victory when you get there? That's what you have to think about. And for me, that was the thought that I had for months, thinking, okay, here's what this is going to look like. Here's where we're going to stay. And every day I would go online and I would look at different hotels in Tokyo and what there was to do, just to keep reminding myself of what that victory would be and what it would look like and how it would feel when we finally got there.
So Kris, the speaker, was amazing. I honestly didn't know what he was going to talk about, but when he started talking about his life, it reminded me about my life, because that's kind of how I started out, and his path is pretty much what I've been doing, and I'm hoping to be as successful as getting through it and reaching my goals, and I'm pretty close, and I'm not going to quit, because I have a lot of people around me that help, and he helped me so much, and he made me want to cry because it was so great, but he was good.
Well, my name is Faith Thompson, and I guess I just have to say that Kris I really connected with him almost on every level. You know, my father has been addicted to the streets and to different drugs, and it's been really hard. And I mean, every little aspect down to living in a basement and then coming out of that. So it was really an awesome experience to be able to talk to him and get some resources like his email and being a part of the IAAP. I think it would be a really good experience, and I hope others are able to follow him as well.
And now that you know what's possible for your life, this is when the challenge begins. This is when it's going to get hard. And so I'm going to prepare you mentally for what's to come. The next step is the struggle. You see, the struggle is an interesting stage, and this is where the majority of the people go from being contenders to losers. Because they begin this road to their goals, and they're on this journey, and they see the goal ahead. And as they're watching the goal ahead, they begin to get distracted by problems. And this happens in life, and then a death in the family, and then your health goes bad, then the kids get in trouble in school, now your marriage is having problems. Now all of a sudden that goal is no longer important anymore because of all these distractions. And so what we must do is, as you're on this road, you're driving towards your goal and your dreams, you can't be distracted by the problems in your life. You can't be distracted by the potholes and the roadblocks and the detours and the construction that's going to come along. We must maintain a focus on our goals and our dreams and not be hypnotized by our problems. You see, it's like the deer. It's like the deer on the highway. We've all seen one who just walks out there and just stops and looks. And there's something about those bright lights that hypnotizes the deer. And he's frozen, and for whatever reason he doesn't move, but if he was only to break the spell for that long, he would live. But he doesn't, and eventually he's ran over and killed. Or like the bird who sees the snake and is mesmerized by the winding movements. And if only the bird was willing to break the spell, he could fly away and live. But he doesn't. And eventually the bird stands there, and the snake gets closer and closer and closer and consumes the bird whole. And many of us are consumed whole by life. Because we stand there and we see the goal, and then all of a sudden we begin to get distracted by our problems. And now we focus on it, we look at it, and we look at it, and then we talk about it, then we tell our friends about it, then we tell our coworkers about it, then we post it on Facebook, put it all over Twitter. Now you've told the world about it, and now you're consumed whole by your problems. And only if we were willing to tear away for that long, we would live. So it's important that as you go through this struggle, as you go through this fight for your goals and for your dreams, that you not be distracted by your problems.
I had the pleasure of listening to Kris Mathis this morning. He spoke to a group that I was with, and it was very interesting. Kris is a great speaker. He gives a great message. I enjoyed how he brought in his life and how he overcame what his life had given him without being pompous about it or without being too proud about it, but understanding that he had to make those decisions. I appreciated that he brought his faith into it, that it wasn't just him doing things, that there was a higher power, there's a God who was helping him through things and influencing how he thought. He mentioned friends and associates and mentors that helped him. Excellent. Great model. Appreciated him sharing this with us. His 8 steps toward victory, toward significance. Great steps, very reasonable, but very hard to do, which he admitted to. So I would recommend Kris as a speaker. He's very personable, very nice man, and you would enjoy him too.
I really enjoyed Kris Mathis when he spoke. He's very motivational, and I recommend him for every group. His message was very inspirational to me. He made me think about what goals I'm wanting to accomplish and that it is possible to get there.
One last ingredient that I want to leave with you, one last tip, and it's a poem that I wrote a while back, and it's something I've practically become known by. It's called To Live Your Dreams. To live your dreams, you have to be willing to fight for it. Make steps every day and night for it. Be willing to give up time and sleep at night for it. Have patience, work hard, and do more than just try for it. Remember, Martin had a dream and he was willing to die for it. You have to believe and have dreams at night about it. Feel your life is just useless and incomplete without it. Be willing to take a setback to reach it. And know that others before you have achieved it. Know in your heart that you cannot be defeated. Use all your strength, skills, and prepare to take action. And not reaching your goal is never an option. Stay moving forward towards your goal till you hit it. And I promise you, the power of God, you'll get it.